All right, Grace Valley family, this is your weekly update, and I'm bringing you an update in our reading in the Chronological Bible. I hope you're tracking along. I know we're at the end of the first quarter of the year, and I know it's very easy to get behind in a daily reading. If you're committed to doing a year through the Bible, you miss a couple of days and it feels almost overwhelming to get caught up. So I want to just encourage you, if you have some time and you're behind, to just try to sit down and catch up. Maybe even utilize some of the tools that we have available to us now, like listen to the audio Bible. Maybe get on the Bible app on your phone and just let it play and just get caught up one way or the other. But I'm going to be doing a little discussion from the March 30th reading. This is out of Joshua 24. It really is one of my favorite passages in Joshua. A lot of you have probably grown up like I did, where either in your home growing up or maybe your grandmother or grandparents' home or something, they had a little placard somewhere that says, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." And that's a really awesome thing to have in your home somewhere. It's a great reminder to everyone who lives there what you believe and what you hold true in your life as a believer. And where that comes from is Joshua chapter 24. But I want to give you the context as to where that statement comes from, because I think it has even more meaning when you understand why Joshua actually said it. So those are the words of Joshua at the end of his life. And as the leader of God's people after Moses, Joshua was responsible for helping get or leading the people of the Israelites into the promised land. So he's actually the one who crosses the border and gets into the land of Canaan. He fights several battles, many battles, and they take over all the land. And then there's a little bit of a peacetime, and they sit down, and Joshua knows it's the end of his life, so he decides he's going to review with the people in a big assembly with all the great things that God has done for the people of Israel. So he goes back through. If you read all of 24, you will start to see that he goes into this whole backstory of all the way back to Egypt, when God freed the captives from Egypt and defeated the Pharaoh's army, and goes on and on and on, all the battles that God fought for his people. And then he gets to verse 14 and he says this: "So fear the Lord and serve him wholeheartedly. Put away forever the idols that your ancestors worshipped and when they lived beyond the Euphrates River in Egypt. Serve the Lord alone. But if you refuse to serve the Lord, then choose today whom you will serve. Would you prefer the gods of your ancestors? Would you prefer the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates, or will it be the gods of the Amorites in whose land you live now? But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." And so Joshua presents to the people this choice. And he says, you have to decide whom you're going to serve. Who is it that you're going to give your life to? He says, and you have an option. You can go back and serve the gods of your ancestors, that when they lived in Egypt and they got pushed astray from following God, they worshiped these false idols and false gods of Egypt. You can do that. You can serve the gods of the land that you're now living in, the people who don't know God, the pagan gods of the Amorites or the Canaanites or the Moabites or all the other ites that lived in the land. He says, but as for me and my family, me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And it's an interesting thing that Joshua says, because I get this question a lot, because I have a lot of friends in recovery, whether it's AA or some other type of addiction recovery, and you will often hear the language of choosing a higher power. And I know a lot of Christians who really don't like that language. They hear the word higher power and they almost feel offended, like, well, no, Jesus is the only higher power. Well, the truth is, whether you like that language or not, it's actually a fair question. It's the same question Joshua is asking the people. Who do you want to serve? Because everybody has to make that decision. Who are you going to serve with your life? Who are you going to live for? Who is going to be the leader of your life? And Joshua says you have a choice. In Joshua's mind, it's not a hard choice. He's going to serve the Lord. And many of you have made that choice. You're going to serve the Lord. However, every single day we wake up, we have the choice of who we're going to deem is our higher power. And my advice to anybody would be, I just hope you choose a higher power that actually has enough power, has the resources to actually help you. And I believe that the Lord our God has all that we need through his son Jesus to provide everything that we need, all the guidance, leadership, power, strength that we need. He provides it for us. However, we still have to decide we're going to follow him. We have to choose. Are we going to obey the word of the Lord? Are we going to go our own direction? Because oftentimes the higher power we select is ourselves. We think that we're wise enough. We think that we're smart enough, that we can somehow know better than God, and we can go our own way. And my advice to you would be, don't be foolish. I would tell you, you need to trust in the Lord. Just like Joshua, he can review all the things that God has done. And it's important to look back and remember all the great things God has done for you so that you don't forget in the moment when you're tempted to turn and go a different way or tempted to lean on your own wisdom or understanding. Instead, you would fall back and trust in the Lord. And so this is the great challenge of Joshua chapter 24, is that we would be people who choose to make God our Lord and leader. And that choice is in front of us today. And I hope that you will make that choice. I hope that you will not allow the other options in life to distract you from fully committing your life and following the Lord. And so when it comes to the question of higher power and choosing a higher power, it's actually a biblical concept to decide who you're going to live for. And the sad part is there will be many people, even some in alcohol recovery or in some type of addiction recovery, they will choose a higher power other than God. And it makes me sad for them because I don't believe those other options will have enough resources for them. It will not fully bring restoration and healing that they're looking for. And I don't think it's true in our own lives. I think if we are searching for some sort of peace or fulfillment or guidance in life outside of God, we're going to be disappointed. And so this is, I believe, what is behind Joshua's statement, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So I hope that is true of you. I hope that today you will make the decision to serve the Lord, that you and your household will serve the Lord, especially men. I just want to challenge you, man. I'm wearing my hat, getting ready for the men's retreat. First of all, if you've not signed up, if you're one of the men out there that has wondered and kind of on the fence whether you should come to the retreat, I want to strongly encourage you to just trust the process, sign up, and be a part of the retreat. It's going to be a really powerful time. I'm super excited to go myself and to be able to teach and help lead our men. And one of the ways that men, we need to step up and lead is we needed to decide who the leader of our home is, who we as a household will serve. And that's going to start with men deciding to do that. And I know that that's not a popular thought in our culture today. That sounds sexist in some way, but it's just true. God has designed men to be the leaders of their home and to be the ones to make the decision of whom we will serve in our household. And so I want to challenge you men to prayerfully consider what it looks like for you to be that leader in your own home. So we're going to talk a little bit about that at the retreat. So I hope you'll be a part of that with us. Also, I'm recording this video a few days before our Good Friday service. And Easter weekend and all of that. And I just want to just encourage you to be a part of this with us. Friday night, we're going to have two services, 2 and 4 p.m. or Friday afternoon, 2 and 4 p.m. And these are going to be really powerful reminders of why Jesus gave his life on the cross. I really think it's going to be worth your time to come. And then, of course, on Easter Sunday, we are going to have 3 services. The early service is a little earlier than normal. It will be at 7:45. Then we'll have our 9:30 and 11 a.m. services. I want to strongly encourage you to come a little bit earlier than normal, to park off-site if you can. Please park at the Carriage Crossing Mall, hop on one of the shuttle buses, and you'll be dropped off right at the door. It will be a huge help as we expect to have maximum capacity in our building at every service. So I hope you'll be there. We're also having a worship service in the youth room that we are calling a lower sensory experience. If that would appeal to you or friends, this is a great opportunity. We're going to have live worship in that room. So there will be a worship band. David Tillman will be leading worship in that room. And then we will have, the message will be on a video screen. So it's a great opportunity for those who would rather have a little bit lesser intense, there won't be the moving lights and all of that in that room. So it might give you an opportunity to have a different experience that maybe would be helpful. So that's what's coming up. I'm really excited about the weekend. So I hope that this video will encourage you, and I look forward to seeing you at Good Friday and Easter. Have a great rest of your day.